Hi there, and welcome to BSF Recovery Team. In our last video, we left off when we headed out to search for a Jeep with a broken rear axle. Well, it didn't take us long, and we found the Jeep, and sure enough, it did have a broken rear axle.
Now here's a nice little predicament.
It's not mine.
That's okay.
Well, it's mine, but I'm not the one who broke it.
It almost makes it worse.
This is actually kind of a common failure for C-clip style axles, like in this Jeep. The axle shaft is only held into the housing by a C-clip at the very inner end. So if the axle shaft breaks, there's nothing keeping the tire and hub attached to the vehicle anymore.
That's why you don't put too big of tires on a stock axle. It comes right off.
Whoops.
Even though I had lots of good helpers with me that day, I had to get down underneath and make sure that they didn't hook the J-hooks over the sway bar or the emergency brake cables before we picked the Jeep up.
Well, at least all I do is lose a $5 pack of cigarettes. Right? Who was Ryan? You are? What hurt your Ryan? You're pulling the spray bar. Well, what? You're on the spray bar. Oh.
When towing a trail vehicle out of the woods with a broken rear axle, like this Jeep, we commonly slide the axle back into the housing for several reasons. First of all, it's an easy way to carry the tire and axle back to camp. Secondly, we steer it with a ratchet strap because the last thing we want is that to slide out and maybe catch a tree alongside the trail as we're driving. Also, with the brake drum slid back over the brake shoes, it gives us the ability to use the front brakes in the Jeep for steep hill descents if needed, without the possibility of overextending the wheel cylinder and losing brake fluid. And lastly, if we have to set the Jeep down for any reason, like to rehook the sling, it makes it much easier.
Al, you're in the way. You're just standing there looking good. Can't have that. See, Al, now that you moved, I get a much better view of Ryan's butt crack. It's ideal.
What?
I said, now that Al moved, I get a much better view of your butt crack. It's way better.
That both by him. Oh, I see. Okay. All right. Oh, I gotcha. Well, Alex, you want to ride back in there? And
You can ride in the Jeep with us.
yeah. That one is up in there. Sorry. No, that's fine. The handicapped guy here. That's no problem.
Well, now we were ready to head back to camp, but little did any of us know that the rear axle wasn't the only thing broken on this Jeep. Well, so far so good. Everything seems to be towing fine, and we're almost back to camp. But something's going to happen here shortly. We'll see if you can spot it, as I did, in the rearview mirror.
Yeah, I see it.
That's right, all of the lug nuts came loose on the passenger front wheel of the Jeep. In fact, they not only came loose, but they were missing, all but one. A quick look revealed that the studs were still there, and the threads looked like they were intact. Now, normally this wouldn't be too big a problem. We'd just steal a few lug nuts from the rear and put them on the front to tighten up the front wheel. But, in this case, the Jeep had splined lug nuts, and none of us had a socket for those splined lug nuts. After a quick discussion with the driver, he believed that they had the socket back at camp, and maybe even some more lug nuts. So we gave him a ride back to camp in our Rubicon to retrieve the parts needed. Thanks for watching BSF Recovery Team. Subscribe to this channel, share our videos, and don't forget to check out our BSF Recovery Team gear store. You can find a link in the header on our channel page. Keep wheeling, stay safe, and maybe we'll see you out there in the woods.